This is just a launching pad of where we going. And don't be tired. Just tell yourself, I'm not tired. I want to be a part of this. And if you're tired, you know, Chicago. If you're in Chicago. Chi. Imam, you don't know. Chi means breath, energy. Chi. And Imam told us to say, Chicago.
Yeah.
That means there's a lot of energy up in here. Chicago. And car, C-A-R, mean that it's ready for some transportation and it's time to go.
That's right.
That's what he said. That's what he's telling us. Chicago. I like coming here. I like the people here.
Like having you.
Yeah. Some good people here. There's a few of them a little angry. Once they realize that anger causes high blood pressure, causes cancer, make you look old when you're not old. If you're not 150 years old, you're not old. And we already were told, learn from the cradle to the grave. And the Prophet Muhammad said, the best one of you is the one who's most mindful of your duties and implement an action in the society to make a difference in your life and in the people's life. And the people's lives, to make a difference. Yes. Every day that Allah allow you to wake up. Yes. And allow your body, your spirit, your soul to come back to your body. Allah is giving you another chance to do better. And don't let a day go by without influencing someone. You have the spirit.
That's right. You
know, in the Christian world, Imam explained this to us, in the Christian world, you know, they take what they call communion. I'm going to tell you this. I remember one time, you know, I got a middle brother. He's a preacher. But he was just into all kinds of stuff down in Alabama where we grew up at. And they used to do communion, and they would go and set it up before that evening for everybody to get there. And my brother and some of the other boys in the neighborhood, my brother was the leader. Come on, let's go in there and I don't know where they would get this from. I think somebody was making cherry wine in the neighborhood. But he would always find the steel. And he went and got a big old jug of it and brought, said, let's put it in the Morgan Davies in the grape juice that they drinking, that they gonna give communion with. and he poured it in there. Oh man. I'm the oldest, I'm trying to stop him, but he didn't want to listen to me. And that night at communion, church was lit up. But he ended up being a preacher. At family reunion, we talk about this. I told him, you need to still pray, man, because, you know, you got the preacher was tore up. Everybody else was tore up. But the Imam explained that about and they call themselves drinking the blood of Christ, peace be upon the prophet. But the Imam explained that and said that blood they would drink it represent the spirit of Christ, which is the influence. A lot of them don't know that. I know the African Americans probably know it, probably some Caucasian that knows in the Christian world. But the influence of what brought us to this religion, the influence of Imam Imam. And it made it easy for the mind and the soul. So we should be grateful. We should be grateful and bring all the young people here and put all the imams busy. You know, the imam's supposed to be busy teaching people the Deen, how to make salat, how to understand the principles, the 5 pillars that holds up our human structure, rather than bickering and fighting each other. We're going to have to do this thing together, burn.
That's right.
No, ma'am. Not together. There's going to be some burning, and some is not going to burn. Those who stay with what Allah has revealed, what Allah has brought to us, will not burn. Now, fire is good, in a way, just like rain is. But you can't build anything up on the fire nor can you build anything upon the water. In all due respect, when I said no man. And sometimes a no is not a negative. It can be a positive. Listen, la ilaha illallah. No God deserves to be worshipped but Allah. You know? So that fire is good. And Allah says in the Quran that it is I who created the fire from the green tree. Not Einstein or no scientist, Allah. And it made it useful to us to use to warm our bodies, our home, cook our food. But then, if that fire is not respected, it can be hellfire. And that's a different kind of fire than the fire that you light your candle with. This hellfire, it attacks your sentiments. And it'll burn you up as a human being and change your form from what God created you in. So you see, Imam brought to us religion proper. It realigns us to the nature that God created us in. It put us in a position to keep our community pure. And if we keep our community pure, dear believers, Allah will bless us to be able to establish a community reflecting the best of this Quran and reflecting the best of the tradition of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I want to explain something about it. Imam made that clear to us also. The tradition or the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad. I get a lot of questions from immigrants. Brother, are you Sunni? Are you Shia? Or are you Sufi? All these questions. And, I'm not trying to make fun. I'm not in a position to do that. Then I remember what the Imam said. Quran. And the tradition of the Prophet, how he demonstrated the Quran. It wasn't no Sunnah until the Quran was revealed. And when Prophet Muhammad ﷺ lived it, he carried that out in his life, and his companions carried it out. That established the Sunnah. Now you got some Hadith Muslims. Just to make sure that everybody understands. I'm not making light of anyone. They would put the Hadith Imam over the Quran. And the Hadith, their people, their believers, is just a report on the life of the Prophet. And these people who made the report, they were trying to make a name for themselves. And the authentic of a hadith, and Imam said, the Bukhari and Muslim are the best two for us to study. But the authentic of the hadith, if, say for example, Abu Hurairah give a statement, and then statement 1, 2, and 3 saying pretty well the same thing. And that hadith then is pretty sound. But if he said that he said that he said that he said, and maybe he said, you can throw that one out. And this is how Imam was teaching us how to read these hadith and take the benefit of it. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. All praise is due to Allah. So again, we thank Allah that this religion has reached America. All right. I believe that Allah loves America. And I believe that Allah loves us. He's given us a third chance. During the time of Muhammad, we call that the first resurrection. Yes. Imam came, we call that the second resurrection. Imam Wallace is here, we call that, some of us do, third resurrection.